all athletes get on semen retention. I was requested to make this video. Guys, as an athlete, you need to get on semen retention. It's a must. What's going to happen is, let's say you start in high school, you get on semen retention, you're going to start to notice the shift in your body. It's just like when you're playing a game and you have those points. You're going to have a lot of points to put up different things, your different abilities, your speed, stamina, all that's going to go up when you get on semen retention. You in high school and you just, getting better, balling out. You want to be a three-point shooter like Steph Curry, man, get on semen retention. Your focus is going to go up, your stamina, your dead eye, all that stuff. Football, whatever sport you playing, things is going to go up so you can have the energy and the focus and the consistency to be the best player on the team. You're going to end up being the best player on the team, I'm telling you. 5-star recruits, all that. D1 colleges, scouts, they're going to be scouting you, man. All this is going to come into play. Now, what's going to happen when this starts to happen, you're going to start to attract everything that you ever wanted from your purpose. When it comes down to being an athlete, you're going to attract the females, you're going to attract the coaches, you're going to attract the colleges, all this, you're going to attract all this. See, because what happens is when you start to get on semen retention and you focus on your purpose, you focus on yourself, you start to attract everything that you ever wanted. This is true as an athlete. But you have to remain disciplined. The girls, they're going to be waving at you. Even the girls that didn't want to give you no play when you was not on the team, they're going to start hollering at you. Don't pay that no attention. You got to keep discipline. Same thing when you get in college. You're going to be the star on the team. They going to want to, NFL going to want to put you on some of the goodest teams. They're going to be scouting you. All this stuff is going to happen. But you have to stay focused. All the girls, they're going to be waving at you. It's going to get crazy in college because you want to smash those girls. Whether they, the girls that help the football players or, the cheerleaders, you're going to want to smash those girls. I wouldn't do that. I could stay consistent. See, you got to remember what got you to that next level. What got you to college. What got you to that college that you wanted to go to. That's semen retention. So you got to stay on semen retention in order to flourish, in order to get into the pros. Because that's what you want to do. You want to go pro. So you got to stay focused, man. This is what's going to happen on semen retention. When you get in that college, you're going to attract everything that you ever wanted. People going to be helping you pass tests, all that in class, because you're going to be the star of the team. You're going to be going crazy. You in high school, you probably going to be breaking records, the school records. Nobody broke the school records. Let's say if you're going to a high school that never went to the championship, never had no records, too much records broken or nothing like that. You're going to be breaking all the records. You're going to be doing all that type of stuff. Because semen retention is going to give you that extra boost. It's going to give you that power that's beyond comprehension. From within, guys. I'm telling you, this is true. Even in college, you might break records. Because you're getting better. Because you're keeping that discipline. You stand on semen retention. Your downfall is the females, mainly. Not the so-called the guys that's hating on you, unless you pay them attention. But you're not going to pay them no mind because you're going to have haters. But the females, for most of you guys, that's athletes. I know you're going to want to smash some girls in college. I know you're going to want to go crazy. You're going to want to let it out. But you have to remain disciplined. You have to remain, even on the off season, you got to keep practicing to get better. You got to stay focused on your purpose. Because like I said, once you focus on yourself and focus on your purpose, you start to attract everything that you ever wanted in your life. You want to get to the NFL, you want to get to the NBA, want to go pro, do what I'm telling you on this video. Stay focused, stay disciplined. Because this is what's going to get you to that next level. And that's the pros. See, guys, I know you're going to get the attention. You're going to get the girls. You're going to get all that stuff that you ever wanted. You'll get all the praise. But you got to stay humble. Be humble. humility is the best thing when you are the star on the team. You know, stay humble. You know, and continue to stay focused on your purpose. Continue to master your craft. That's what's going to get you to college. That's what's going to get you to the pros when you get in college. You got to stay disciplined, guys. But this journey is a wonderful journey. You know, all athletes need to get on semen retention. I'm telling you, you're going to be a better athlete. You know, you're going to be doing things that you thought you never could, but you really can. Because semen retention will give you that ability to do things that you thought that you never could. But guys, man, I'm telling you, once you eventually, now you in the pros, you step foot in the pros. Now, you're getting these $1 million deals and all this stuff. Now it is up to you to stay on semen retention, make it a lifestyle, or some of the chicks that you want to smash a couple of them and then get back on it. See, it's up to you. Then you create that balance of like semen retention. You do 5, during the off season, you're not on semen retention. And then when you when you get back into the season, then you back on semen retention. Then you create that balance, you know what I'm saying? But when you in high school and when you in college, I prefer you to stay on semen retention, as long as you can. Stay on it, even during the off season, because you're gonna need to practice more and more and more to get to the pros. Because it's a very short percentage, little percentage of people that actually make it to the pros. So if you want success as bad as you want to breathe, you want it that bad, as bad as you want to breathe, as bad as you want to, be alive, as bad as you want to be on semen retention. If you want success as bad as you want to be on semen retention, I would remain disciplined. I would just keep practicing during the off season, especially when you're in high school and in college. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to make it to the pros. You're not trying to smash all the 304s. See, when you get in high school and college, you're trying to make it to the pros. So that's what you got to do. In order for you to make it to the pros, you got to stay on semen retention. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of discipline, but it's going to be worth it. That's just like you stand on your purpose. That's just like you stand at your, at your profession. That's just like you stand loyal to your profession. Semen retention, stay loyal to semen retention. During the off season, go hard, practice more, so you can get better and better and better. Because it's a short percentage of guys that make it to the pros. I'm telling you. So if you want to be the star of the team, man, stay on semen retention. But once you get to the pros, then during the off season, you can smash whoever you want to, because you are up there. You was in the top, 10 draft. You would probably be the first person to get drafted. You did what you were supposed to do. You kept the discipline during middle school. If you played in middle school too, high school and college, you kept the discipline to get where you want to be. So there's a reward for that. So guys, like I said, it's all up to you. If you want to create that balance once you get in the pros and you want to be that A-list celebrity, you're going to create that balance. During the orange season, you're going to be on semen retention. All season, you might be off of it a little bit. You might smash some chicks here and there because you made it. So, you want to reward yourself. But guys, it's all up to you. If you want to be a B-list or you want to be a bench warmer or something like that, then you're going to be smashing chicks when you in the pros on season, during the on season and off season. But it's all up to you. You made it. You did what it took to get where you wanted to be. So who am I to tell you as a successful man when to get off semen retention and when to get on it? I really can't tell you. I can just give you suggestions. So it's all up to you. But you finally made it to the pros. Hope you guys got something out of this video. All athletes, get on semen retention. It's going to change your life. Not overnight, but long term, it's going to change your life if you stay loyal to semen retention. You have to stay loyal to this until you get to the pros. Yeah, I know it's hard, but it will be worth it. Because, like I said, you got to focus on you.